Hey guys, my name is Jared the Barber, and in this video I'll be demonstrating how I do a taper with hooks. I'll also be showing you guys how I taper in the beard. I will be applying enhancements on the lineup and on the beard just to give it that extra sharp look. I will be dropping more content, so stay tuned for more haircut tutorials. Alright, let's get straight to it. Alright, I'm just showing you guys the length that I'm about to take down. I'm taking it down just so I'm able to see what I'm cutting. So right here I'm using my babyless clippers. I'm using a number 6. And as I'm cutting, I'm combing it to see what I'm cutting. Every time I'm cutting through, I'm combing down. If I'm cutting up, I'm combing down. I'm blow drying it and I'm combing it down, trying to see which way his hair wants to go naturally. So since he had long hair, when I cut it down short, his hair is going everywhere in all directions. So I put a hot towel over his head to relax his hair so it all goes down naturally. Here you can see that his hair is still kind of everywhere, so I'm combing through it just to see which way his hair wants to go. I'm using my FX Gold clippers. I'm taking it down his guideline to about 1 inch. I always start off my haircuts by putting the guideline. These lines don't have to be super sharp, it's just to get an image of when my taper starts. Cleaning up as I go, nothing too detailed. When I do my beards, sometimes I don't need guards, since when you use more guards it's more time consuming, but with his type of hair I was able to just use the magic clips and use like the corners of my blade. My clipper is open. I do have a ceramic blade on my magic clips. So when I'm fading, I visualize it as just like blending in colors. So if I see like a black spot, I take that down. It's just mixing colors. There's white and then there's black. And then, there's light black, light white, grays, all in between. So that's how I view fading. So I always start off with, after my liners, I go to open clipper, and then I work under there. So that way my work is never gonna be faded way too high. I'm always gonna know where my fade's gonna be at. Then I go to my half guard, always open when I make a next guideline, and I comb through it. Now I go to my 1 open and I'm blending up. As I'm going through the hair, I'm combing down every time. For this type of hair, you always want to comb the hair with the grain and cut against the grain. Just knocking some of the weight behind his ear. That way it'll be easier. Once we get to the lineup, it'll be easier to see what you're cutting and the lines will be sharper. Here I have a 2 open, making my next step. Just getting rid of those dark spots. Then I go with the grain. I come back down and take out some lines and just getting details right here on this taper. For my tapers, I use a lot of my corners. Then I go with my corners with my 1 open and I just attack those dark areas. It always helps if you take a step back and just look at the taper and just see what areas are still not blended. Everything I do to one side, I do it to the other side. So right here, we're just getting at his right side. It always helps me to use the shavers at the end. So here we go again with my open, no guard. Then I close it midway and start blending up. Then I go to my 1 open. And sometimes you'll notice that the hair doesn't always grow in the same direction, so you always want to cut against it. Then to a half guard, open. And then I'm moving my guard all the way closed to knock out those lines that I see. Any misimperfections that I see, knock those areas out. I go back down to my open, and now I'm at a 2 right here. A 2 open, just knocking down some of that weight so I'm able to see what I'm cutting through. My client does have a line in the back of his head, so I got to be careful with not to expose it too much. If you expose it too much, your taper can look higher than what it is. So I try to leave that area a little darker. Right here I'm at a 1.5, lighting those areas. Make sure to take your guys' time when you're tapering. Remember, detail is key. Make sure to clean your canvas to see what you're actually cutting. Right here, I'm at a 1 closed and just fading away those dark areas. Make sure to take advantage of your clipper and use all of it, like the corners, everything. Right here, I'm at a 0 guard open. Just knocking it down more, taking down those dark areas. Combing down to see what direction his hair is going. And right here, I'm using my thinning shears to knock some of that weight down. With these shears, you don't have to worry about making hard lines because it's cutting every other hair. Right here, I'm using spritz. I'm prepping his line so that when I go with the liners, it gives you a sharper cut. It freezes the hair in place and you're able to just make sharp lines. It also dries out the skin a little bit. All it is just prepping the skin for your liners to hit hard. Make sure to take your guys' time. Brush all the hair that you've cut so you can see what you still need to cut. For the lineups, I always brush and line up, and then I brush again and I just keep lining to make sure that there's no missed areas that I didn't line up. Right here, I'm just combing it down and tapering all those little hairs sticking out the comb. With this type of hair, you have to be very patient with the lineup as it does move a lot. sure to leave the beard natural. You don't want to push it too in or else it's going to grow out. You're going to see all those little baby hairs grow back in, which I'm pretty sure your client's not going to like that unless they request it. Remember to comb and line up. Always comb the way the hair is growing. This is just a rough draft right here. I'm not getting not too detailed on this. I'm gonna go and attack it with my razor. And for the C-cup motion, I start from the bottom and move to the corner. I start from the bottom and I move to the top. Use that corner. These liners are zero gapped, so they do help a lot that they are zero gapped. Just take your time. And then make sure everything's symmetrical. Before applying enhancements, I always make sure that the line is super sharp. All the enhancements is used for is to enhance the lineup. That's why they're called enhancements. I always make sure that the lineup is sharp before I apply enhancements. So either way, if the enhancements come off after 2 or 3 days, they're still gonna have a sharp line under those enhancements. Right here, I'm just knocking down the beard to a 4. He wanted to keep the darkness of it. So right here, you can see that I enhanced the lineup on top. And right here I have my magic clips closed and I'm getting detailed on the beard. I'm just sculpting it. I'm also just tapering it down as I'm sculpting it at the bottom, so that way when I go with the liners, I'm not lining up a bunch of long hair. It's just tapered off at the end, and I can make a crispy, nice line. I am going over his beard again where I tapered it. I did see some imperfections. Once I blend it up, I'm going over just to get those little details and any little stray hairs sticking out. Right here I'm using my business card, and I'm using my enhancement machine, my little air compressor. Just very light. You don't want nothing too dark. Again, you want to make it look pretty natural. Right here, I'm using a little light, like colored pencil, like a mascara colored pencil. I'm gonna use my razor and push that white line in. This will make your lineup pop. I really just use this pencil for like crispy Instagram photos. You'll see like the ash line, or you find this pencil on Amazon. It's under iced out barber pencil. Right here, you stretch out the skin when you go with the razor. Always stretch it out. Make sure you guys get very detailed on your haircuts. On your lineups especially, your client will appreciate every single detail. When you pay attention to detail, that's what separates you from the rest. Make sure to stretch out the skin. Right here I'm going against the grain with my razor. Using the razor does help have a sharper, longer lasting lineup for sure. The behind of the beard, I put a little bit of enhancements, but I also brush it in to make it more natural looking. If you have any overspray on the enhancements, you can also use a little aftershave, apply it right above the enhancements, and then just push that in with your razor, and it'll help you remove any afterspray. Right here, I'm just freehanding it. I have my clipper set to closed, and I'm just going over his whole head and removing any stray hair that I see. Just going over with my shavers, using shavers at the end. This also helps you keep a low taper. And this is the after. Man, talk about a transformation. Well, if you guys like that, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that bell. It'll notify you when I post a new video. Thank you.